Alright, so scree is a mass of small loose stones that form or cover a slope on a mountain. It's an oddly specific term, I feel like. Look out across the street, examine the marked rock, look over the lip. Let's examine the rock. You squat down to clear moss away from the marked rock. It is inscribed with a riddle. This is the way that the sorcerer went, and this is the place called the Wizard's Descent. Forward he stepped to prove what he meant, then he fell, then he floated, and so did not repent. A flock of gulls spins in the sky above you, screaming and calling. Forward he stepped to prove what he meant. So we have to cast. We probably have to cast that spell, right? Look about for clues. You cast about, feeling the earth, looking for a hidden ring or a lever or a rope, but there is nothing but the lip of the cliff. A gust of wind threatens to pull you over the cliff edge. Look over the lip. You peer cautiously over the lip. A few loose rocks scatter beneath your feet and tumble, falling 4 or 5 seconds before they hit a grassy ledge far below. You step back quickly in case you might slip. Let's step over. Well then, you set off looking for adventure, and here one is, the Wizard's Descent. Will you take it? Hell yeah, we will. Murmuring a quick prayer to the well, your spirit, oh, it's a well. I wish it told you like how that changed, if they had like something that, some bars or something. You close your eyes and step forward once, twice, and then your heel slips, and then you are falling. Cast a spell! It's a Wizard's Descent, right? So you have to cast a spell. It's not just going to save you. Fall! Wait. A? Hello? Oh, what the shit. Well, if we can't cast a spell, we will pray. I suppose. Oh no, here we go. It's the little F. Wait. That's not what I clicked on. I clicked on the little F. There we go. Yes, I feel better now. Float in air. In the remaining moments, you cast the spell. As soon as you finish it, your fall slows, as though a hand has cuffed you and is lowering you to the earth. You come to rest without incident on the grass. Okay. Now, you are in trouble. Halfway up and halfway down, you're on a ledge an arm's span wide with a drop down to the beating sea. There is no way back up. You have no choice but to follow the ledge and see where it leads. There is only one thing of note here, a glyph painted on the wall with a light brown paint. Examine it. You peer at it. The color is old and faded, but it appears to be a P. You follow the ledge carefully around, hoping to find some way forward. A few yards later, you are spoilt by choice. There's not one cave mouth beneath ahead of you, but 2. So there's a P. There is a spell that will tell me what to do, right? It is how perilous situations when information about the safest way of escape is desired. Set towards one route or a means of defense if one is not present. Okay, let's try this. How? It's only going to cost me 1 stamina, and I'm trying to be more of a sorcerer here. Well, I guess we can look at them. You peer into the darkness of the left cave. It seems to slope a little way downwards into the darkness, and the smell coming from it is salty and fresh. Perhaps it leads to the sea, or perhaps it drops into a flooded pool. By the cave mouth is a low boulder. A smell of salt breeze emerges from the left-hand cave. Okay, let's look at the right. Looking into the right cave, you see little except a faint and distant glow. A light whistling of wind comes from the right-hand cave mouth. Okay, so let's cast a spell. Perhaps magic can aid me. How? You cast a spell and you feel a power entering your mind and feeling across the rock surface in front of you. After a while, it settles on the left cavern. Then it is gone, and you are alone once more. Okay, I definitely would not have gone to the left cavern, so that's pretty good. I was leaning towards right. You pause to examine the boulder, but it appears to be just that. A small rock about the size of your head and roughly cubic in shape. 4 of its sides are covered in moss. The wind blows little dust into the right-hand cave. See, it's just wanting me to go to the right-hand cave. But, we're going to go to the left one, because that thing told me to. You enter the left-hand cave, moving slowly to let your eyes adjust to the dark. A few steps in, your fingers running across the wall, feel the shape of a symbol carved into the rock. Examine it. O. P-O. You pause to examine the scratch mark on the wall. It seems to be a letter O. The cave continues into the hillside, then turns down a slope. The walls grow narrow on either side. You are squeezing yourself deeper and deeper into the ancient heart of Dadule, with no certainty that you will ever re-emerge. Then an opening appears, and with it a gust of wind and a hint of a strange green light. Go through. You squeeze through a narrow opening into a wider tunnel. Oh, we've reached the cave mouth. The inside of this cave is lined with bright fluorescent streaks from some strange mineral on the wall. It glows a grisly green color, forming characters and slash marks. Without them, you would be lost in the dark. Then you see a patch of sunshine up ahead. Examine the walls. You pause a moment to look at the seams in the rock. Their pattern does not seem random, but more like characters in some language you do not recognize, as if someone had written a message into the very rock itself. But if so, it is a message you cannot understand. You move towards the light, almost tripping over your feet in the dark, until you find yourself in a low chamber. Despite being closed off and sheltered from the wind, it is well lit by the sunlight streaming in. Through the narrow cave mouth, you see sand stretching down to a shoreline. Oh, sorry, I need a drink of water. A lot of reading. Examine the walls. Looking closely at the walls here, you see a small patch of the fluorescent seam, but in the bright sunshine, its glow is lost, and it's just a dark, glassy mark. Directly below it is a small, flat stone. Let's see, we look at the wall. There's a fluorescent seam. Its glow is lost. Let's try lifting the stone. You lift the stone, and underneath you see an inscription in the same hand as the others you have seen. This is the place where the sorcerer saw. Something all others would simply ignore. It spoke to a darkness inside that he bore, so he stopped and he gloomed and made light come once more. You replace the stone. The noise of the waves echoes around the narrow chamber. It spoke to a... This is a place where the sorcerer saw, so he stopped and he gloomed and made light come once more. Light. Darkness. Maybe I should try fog? See here. I guess we can try hot. You raise the spell, crafting a fireball in your palm that fills the room with light and powerful heat. Water from the floor begins to steam, and tiny crystals in the rock walls glitter and gleam, but nothing more seems to happen. Okay, let's rewind. See, this is why I don't really like the rewind mechanic, because I'm going to abuse it for sure. But I also want to see what this game has to offer, right? And, you know, maybe this isn't something I can really solve. I don't know. We're going to try fog this time. See what happens. Fog. Summon darkness. You cast the spell, and a thick black fog rises from the sleeves of your tunic and quickly fills the room. All falls dark, and the sunlight is cut away. Into the gloom, a shape emerges. It is the glowing rock seam in the wall, which in the darkness has become visible. Examine it. Oh, that makes sense. P-O-T? The seam forms a shape, a letter T. A moment later, you wonder if you imagined it, as the fog lifts and the wall turns back to dull rock once more. P-O-T. You head outside, blinking into the sunlight, through the narrow cave mouth and onto the shore of the Cockbad Sea. So I think that's a new spell that we learned. P-O-T. I don't know if it shows up here or not. What is this? Dock? P-O-P. P-O-T. Pep, rock, puff. No, doesn't seem like it. I think maybe we can manually put them in. You walk out onto the sand to find you are not alone. A small sailboat is pulled up in the shallows, and beside it, a woman sits on a low stool with a strange flat loom on her lap. She is weaving a long belt of tightly woven, brightly colored cloth. Watch her work. You hang back, watching her as she weaves. The work is swift but careful, with the strands of each color appearing to diverge before being brought back in and knotted together. Threads disappear from the pattern, then explode into life further along. The object she is making is no wider than a belt, but it seems extremely long. Suddenly, she stops and looks up. She has seen you. "Greetings! Greetings!" she declares. "It has been a long time since I had a visitor." No wider than a belt, but it seems extremely long. I have no idea what that is. "Greetings," you say, nodding to her. "What are you doing here?" you ask. "I am weaving," she says, "and waiting." The woman watches you with great patience. "Who are you?" you ask. "I have many names and faces," she smiles, "but you have only one. Who are you?" "I am an adventurer from Analand." She nods. "Not yet," she answers simply. "The adventure still lies ahead." Briefly, she glances down at her weaving as if she could read the future in the thread. "What are you waiting for?" "I am waiting to ask a question." "Are you ready now to answer it?" "Pot. The answer is pot." "Yes," you reply. "Ask me your question." It is a simple matter. She holds up 2 strands at the end of the belt she was weaving. They had diverged just at the moment she ceased her work. "It is about you. When the time comes to risk yourself for another, for no gain of your own, which you would rather, the way of danger or the way of the coward? I have looked, but I cannot decide." "I'll answer. I know. I'm an adventurer. I don't care about danger. I'm no coward. The way of danger. I wish to live and enjoy all the thrills of living." She claps her hands. "Wonderful!" The woman gathers up her loom under one arm and steps back into her boat. "You have everything you need," she declares. "Now, you must simply leave this place and return to where you should be. The land of Dadule is not meant to be lived in." "I cannot climb the cliff." She nods. "If you have found your way to me, then you have learnt how you must return." And then she reaches up to her head and pulls out a single golden strand of hair, which she gives to you. "You will need this for your spell of returning." Then with a breathed word, Then with a breathed word, her boat creeps out into the waves. The sails fill, and her song is lost on the wind. Yes, we do know the new spell. Can I cast it now, please? So now you are trapped. Or are you? Examine the hair. The hair is just a single strand, as long as your arm, and so fine and golden it is almost invisible against the waves. The wind threatens to snatch it from you. The waves lap gently at the shore, but you are not fooled. The tide is rising. Let's try some magic. Perhaps there's a spell that will save you from this place. But as you prepare your mind, you are already sensed that there are stars here are most strangely aligned. P-O-T, 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 P-O... Wait. It keeps doing that, selecting the wrong letter. Almost screwed me over there. Unknown. Cast. It's cool, there's unknown spells. You attempt to raise a spell that does not exist, and you suffer the harsh consequences as the magic collapses around you. The wind finally gets the better of your grip, and the long hair is whipped from your grasp and away, and with it, magic leaves you. You sit by the water's edge, watching the waves creep closer. You will never now learn the true secret of Dadule. What the hell? Am I misremembering P-O-T? Damn it. You drowned in the rising tide. What the hell? Maybe it's backwards? T-O-P? Ah, top. I got it. It's top. How was I supposed to know it's backwards, though? That's strange. Cast. You weave the spell, although you cannot be certain what it will do, or even if it is a spell. But then, the golden strand of hair begins to shine and glow. You stand back to watch, as it becomes as thick as your arm and grows tall, burying down into the sand and soaring up into the sky. Grab hold! Quickly, you grab hold of the towering strand, and it whisks you away upwards at speed. Within heartbeats, you are near the top of the cliff once more and jump down to the earth. You learned a new spell. I didn't know that was a thing that you could do. Let's check it out. Near the back, presumably? Requires a golden hair, which I guess we don't have anymore. When cast upon a strand of golden hair, this will create a tower of significant height and wide enough for the caster to stand upon. I assume we will be able to use that later. Alright, let's head up to the cliff top now. The golden tower disappears, shrinking away out of sight. But as it fades, the wind strums and it begins to sing. You can only just catch the words. In a long, empty mine roams a terrible beast, whose slaying it will be your duty in time. But should you meet early in mines to the west, creep inward and burn him. Remember this rhyme. Perhaps you will discover what it means, but now it is time to go. Your long journey awaits. Okay, but should you meet early in mines to the west, creep inward and burn him. So, fire, which is probably what I would have done anyways, to be fair. I think, western, so there's mines over here, but this is obviously not west, right? I do know that. I can say that. Okay, so maybe these mines over here, which I guess, yeah, we will have to go over there no matter what. So, that's good to know. Good to know. Alright guys, this has been Sorcery Episode 1. I'm going to play this all the way through, so hopefully you're enjoying it. I know I am. See you next time. Bye.